It's my primary responsibility to make sure that we could ship product as fast as possible with the appropriate risks taken into consideration. And so one of the ways that we've done that at Blackhawk Network is by shifting left the responsibility and the inclusion of security in product discussions and technology discussions from an engineering standpoint as well, and to be part of those preliminary discussions as early as possible, and so that security is not a checkbox that you get at the end of a sprint that requires something to go live. And so a lot of organizations are moving to this model. Of course, you need to be able to scale with it when it comes to product engineering organizations and what the appropriate ratio between a security engineer and your product and security or your product and technology organizations have. And so being part of the discussion early is absolutely critical, I would say, to make sure that you enable your organization in the right ways.
Sure. So you're no longer the department of no, right? You're the department of yes, but here I want to make sure that you understand the risk about what we're about to do, right?
Yeah, it's being the department of yes, and here are the risks. And oh yeah, by the way, we've been already talking about this for the last few weeks already. And so we have a pretty good understanding of what the risks are.
Well, I think most large enterprises are undergoing some sort of digital transformation now. So many of them are moving workloads to the cloud.
Right.
And it is a huge opportunity from a security perspective, but it means they must change their view on security. It's much more AppSec focused.
Okay.
And the good news, of course, in the cloud is that the cloud vendor will take care of all security in the cloud, and then the customer is in charge of the security of the applications. Which makes it easier, but it does mean they have to change their look at it and how they deal with it. And they have to weave security into the software development lifecycle. And that is a big change that needs to happen. And is happening in many companies, but it really needs to happen. I actually think the answer here is sort of maybe a little bit unexpected, but you have to make security something positive. So traditional security was a place where they said no.
Correct.
And it has to become a place where they say yes and everybody sees it as a business enabling function. And if it is seen as business enabling, then everybody will be ready to make proposals.
Sure.
They'll say, we need to fix this because otherwise our business is harmed. And if we fix this, we can grow faster or sell more or something like that. And you make it a positive thing by signaling it from the top. So the CEO needs to make statements to that effect.
That
needs to show it is important and it is an enabler of business. And we all know that at the far end, the consumers who at some point buy those products directly or indirectly, they do today care about security. That's what's so wonderful.
Right.
Regular citizens, they are not experts on it, but they have learned to demand good security from their vendors. So I think it will come that way. But you really have to flip it around and turn it into a business enabling function. And at that point, everybody will be ready to participate.
First of all, for Mercado Libre, it's very important to operate in a very secure ecosystems environment. We take care of the data of our clients, in both worlds, in e-commerce and fintech world. We apply for PCI, for instance, and we apply for every PII law in every country that we operate. So it's very important for us.
So it sounds like you're making security easy for your developers to follow, or at least that seems to be the goal, right?
Yes, and easy is a very it's tough to say, but easy is the word that developers like to hear, right? They don't want things to disrupt their flow. They're very unique in how they actually put out code. So making it easy or making it frictionless and very seamless for them is the best way to get security into that pipeline.
By making security more seamless through the development process, have you or the business seen an impact to the bottom line for this? Are you able to release products and services much quicker now, and how is that affecting the business overall?
It's not just pushing things out more quicker; it's more confidence.
Okay.
So it's getting to the point that there's a lot more confidence in the pipeline and in code being delivered, that there's not a lot of rework to actually patch or anything like that.
Sure.
Given that confidence allows for the developers to actually take a risk. We want developers to be innovative and come up with crazy ideas. And if they feel that the pipeline or the program that we have in place for catching these type of bugs is there, and look, the security team's got their back, they are going to be able to say, I want to test out this service, take a little bit of different risk because we're going to have some controls in the back end. I want security to be on the forefront of pushing innovation and pushing the developers to say, I do want to take a risk with this data because I know that, the platform has us, or the security team has controls in place that we can catch it before it actually impacts the business. I think that needs to be the shift in security now in the industry, is that it pushes innovation forward instead of making it just a lot of folks think of security as a roadblock, right? And I want to take it from a different stance and actually make it so that it enables the business. And I think a lot of organizations are going to start taking advantage of all of these advanced features that the cloud are offering to enable business to move forward, right? I think before it took a long time for actually organizations to actually put a product out there, right? And the fact that cloud allows you to actually really, from the moment you come up with a concept to the actual you deliver it, you could really do this pretty quickly, right? Doing it right and quickly is the key, right? And I think organizations are starting to really figure out that is possible nowadays. It is absolutely possible to do it. Having that framework and looking at how you actually build it out. Security as design, or security by design, is probably the best approach to actually do something like that. But I think organizations are really starting to realize that that's possible and embracing the cloud and saying, I'm willing to it's not so much about taking a risk, it's about architecting it with risk in mind, right? Architecting your cloud.
Risk management.
Risk management, basically, and taking that mindset of, I can only put things in a box because it's a data center. Not anymore, right? I think cloud services allow you to actually think outside of the box and put security, within that workflow. I think one thing that I push very hard on my security teams is I don't ever want my security teams to ever be accused of having a lack of imagination, right? And I think the cloud allows the security engineers on the team to have that imagination, saying, I could use all kinds of services to fix issues that CISOs have been trying to fix for the past 30 years, and we haven't been able to actually do a good job with it. I think now we can get innovative, creative, disruptive with these services to come up with the right approach within workflows that organizations are looking for.